integument. Sometimes it's also called as cuticle. So the outer covering or outer layer of the insect body is called as integument, called as cuticle. So we'll start the class. And function of insect integument, that is in case of insects. So if the insects has to grow, each and every time they have to shed the old skin and form the new skin. So this is what is called as molting. So first we'll study the structure and function of insect integument. So this integument is a characteristic feature of all arthropods. So integument is a characteristic feature of all arthropods that forms the outer layer of the insect body. So this integument, in case of insects, apart from functioning as exoskeleton, it performs several other functions. So the main function of the insect integument is it acts as an exoskeleton. So apart from exoskeleton, it performs several functions. So what are the other functions of insect integument? So the main function of insect, it acts as a exoskeleton and holds all the internal organs together. So the internal organs may be different systems like digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, etc. That is, it acts as an exoskeleton and holds all the internal organs together. And this exoskeleton or integument, it also gives shape to the insect body. So it maintains the shape of the insect body. And it also provides space for muscle attachments. So integument also provides space for muscle attachment. And apart from this, it acts as a protective barrier between the insect and the external environment. So in between the insect and external environment, so this integument acts as a protective barrier. So it also offers support and protection through its rigidity and hardness. So it supports protection through rigidity and hardness. So is the voice echoing or it's okay?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. So primarily, it is responsible for restricting and preventing water loss from the insect body. So integument helps in restricting and preventing the water loss from the insect body. So it also connects external structures to sensory receptors that perceive stimuli in various forms. Some external structures located on the insect body. So these are connected to the sensory receptors of the nervous system. And finally, they prevent entry of the pathogens, parasites, and dangerous chemicals into the insect body. So these are some of the functions of the integument or the body wall of insect. So the main function is it acts as exoskeleton, gives shapes to the body, provides space for muscle attachment, acts as a barrier between insect and external environment, gives support and protection through rigidity and hardness, prevents water loss from the body, and they connect sensory receptors, and they prevent the entry of parasites, pathogens, and dangerous chemicals into the insect body. So this integument, it mainly comprises of three main layers. So if you see the diagram, this is the structure of the insect integument. So mainly the integument is made up of three layers. Mainly the integument is made up of three layers. As you see in the bottom, you will find a thin basement layer. So at the bottommost part, you will find a thin layer which is called as basement membrane. So above this basement membrane, you will find a single cellular layer which is called as epidermis, or sometimes it is also called as hypodermis. And above this hypodermis, you will find one more layer which is called as cuticle. So remember, the insect integument mainly comprises of three layers. Bottommost layer is called as basement membrane. Middlemost layer is called as epidermis. Outermost layer is called as cuticle. So here, the epidermis is only the cellular layer. So epidermis is the only cellular layer, whereas the basement membrane and cuticle, they are non-cellular layers. So basement membrane and cuticle, they are non-cellular, whereas epidermis is a cellular layer. So these are the three major components of insect integument. So first we'll take up the first layer, that is the basement membrane. First we'll take up the basement membrane. So it is the innermost layer or basal part of the integument, and always it is non-cellular layer. And how exactly this basement membrane is formed? So it is formed from the degenerated epidermis cells. So I told you above you will have epidermal cells. So once they degenerate, or they die, they form what is called as this basement membrane. So if you compare to the other two layers, this basement layer is very thin. So the measurement of this basement membrane is around 0.5 micron thickness. So as you see in the diagram, so the basement membrane is 0.5 micron thick. So this basement membrane forms a continuous sheath beneath the epidermis where muscles are attached. So from this basement membrane, the muscles they originate or they attached. So this is about the bottommost layer, that is basement membrane. The secondmost layer, as you see in the diagram, epidermis. Remember, epidermis is a cellular layer. So as already mentioned previously, the cuticle and the basement, they are the non-cellular layers, whereas epidermis is the cellular layer. So you can see here, it is made up of a number of cells, and it is made up of a single layer of epidermal cells. So as you see in the diagram, it consists of a single layer of epidermal cells. So what is the function of these epidermal cells? So these epidermal cells, they secrete basement membrane and the cuticle. Epidermal cells, they secrete basement membrane and the cuticle. That is, they secrete basement membrane below, and above they secrete the cuticle. And here, as you see in the diagram, some of the cells they may get modified into different types of cells. So some of the epidermal cells, they may be modified into inocytes. So as you see in the diagram, so these specialized cells, they are called as inocytes. Or some of the cells, they may be modified as dermal glands or exocrine glands. So in the number of so few cells they are modified as and few cells they may get modified as normal glands. And the function of these enocytes. So enocytes they synthesize hydrocarbon and other lipids. So enocytes they help in synthesis of hydrocarbons, lipids. This is the formation of the upper layers, that is cuticle. So this is about the middlemost layer, that is function is the section of basement membrane below and cuticle above. So it secretes above cuticular layer, below basement membrane. And also it helps in digestion and absorption of old cuticle during the process of molting. So in the next class we'll be studying the detailed steps in molting. So at least you know that they help in digestion and absorption of old cuticle. And also if there are some wounds formed in the insects, they also help in wound repairing. And I told you that the epidermis, you have dermal glands. So these dermal glands secrete a portion of cuticle. So these dermal glands, they secrete a portion of cuticle, especially one layer called as cement. So this cement layer is secreted by these dermal glands. And also I told you some of the cells they are modified as exocrine glands. So these exocrine glands they help in the secretion of pheromones and repellents. So this is about the second most layer, that is epidermis and its functions. And the uppermost layer is the cuticle. The uppermost layer is the cuticle. So already I told you it is the non-cellular layer. It is the non-cellular layer and it is secreted by the epidermal cells. The outside body. So it covers whole of the outside body. So if you take the proportion, so this cuticle comprises 50% of dry weight of certain insects. So cuticle comprises up to 50% of dry weight of certain insects. So this cuticle, it also forms a lining or invagination of internal organs like foregut, hindgut, which are a part of digestive system, and trachea, which are a part of respiratory system. So cuticle also forms a lining of the internal organs like the foregut of the digestive system, hindgut of the digestive system, and trachea of the respiratory system. So you can classify layers. You can classify the cuticle into two layers. The outermost layer is called as epicuticle. The outermost layer is called as epicuticle, and the innermost of the cuticle is called as procuticle. And if you take this epicuticle, the epicuticle can be further classified into sublayers called as inner epicutical layer, outer epicutical layer, wax layer, and cement layer. So epicuticle can be further classified into inner epicuticle, upper epicuticle, wax layer, and cement layer. So anyway, we'll be studying the structure of these in the next slides. Whereas if we take the procuticle, so which is the innermost layer, so it is divided into exocuticle and endocuticle. But in sometimes you have the middlemost layer, which is called as mesocuticle. So this is the different layers of cuticle. So in the next slide, you can see the structure of the cuticle. So I told you at the bottommost you will find the basement membrane. So at the bottommost you will find a very thin layer, that is the basement membrane. In the middle you will find a cellular layer, which is called as epidermis. So some of the epidermal cells, they are modified into enocytes, dermal glands, and exocrine glands. And this layer, so this layer above the epidermis is called as the cuticle. So I told you the outermost layer of insect body is called as epicuticle. Outermost layer of insect is called epicuticle, which is marked in this black color. Whereas the procuticle, it consists of three layers. Procuticle, it consists of three layers. So the topmost is exocuticle, middlemost is mesocuticle, and lowermost is the endocuticle. So apart from this, you will find some vertical tubes that connect this epidermis and the epicuticle. So these vertical lines. So these vertical lines or vertical tubes that connects the epidermis with the epicuticle, they are called as pore canals. So they transfer the materials required for cuticle formation from the epidermis to the epicuticle. So this is the main structure of the insect integument. And on the insect integument, you may find some external structures. Like we people have hairs on our body, like human beings having hairs on our body. Similarly, insects also have some hair-like structures on the insect body. So it may be seated or bristle as you look in the diagram. So this is about the structure of the integument. So what is the difference between the procuticle and epicuticle? So what's the difference between procuticle and epicuticle? So as I've explained in the previous slide, so the procuticle is the innermost layer of the cuticle. So procuticle is the innermost layer of the cuticle, whereas epicuticle is the outermost layer of the cuticle. So if you take the thickness of these cuticular layers, so the procuticle is found to be thicker layer. The procuticle is found to be thicker layer, measuring around 200 micron thickness. Whereas epicuticle is a thinner layer. Epicuticle is a thinner layer measuring around 1 to 4 micron thickness. So coming to the chemical composition. So the procuticle is rich in a material called as chitin. So procuticle is rich in nitrogenous material, which is called as chitin. Whereas epicuticle is devoid of chitin. So epicuticle, it doesn't contain any chitin. So these are the basic differences between the inner layer procuticle and outer layer, that is epicuticle. So first we'll take up the outer layer, that is epicuticle. Outer layer, this is epicuticle. So if you see in the diagram, so the region from here to above is called as epicuticle. So the region starting from here and moving upwards is called as the epicuticle. Again, the epicuticle can be divided into four sublayers. Epicuticle can be divided into four sublayers. The uppermost layer is called as cement layer. So the uppermost layer of the epicuticle is called as cement layer. So below the cement layer, there lays a layer called as wax layer. So uppermost layer is the cement layer. Below the cement layer is the wax layer. And next to wax layer, you have this black colored layer, which is called as outer epicuticle. Outer epicuticle. So below this outer epicuticle, you have a larger area, which is called as inner epicuticle. And outer epicuticle and inner epicuticle, sometimes together they are called as cuticulin layer. So outer epicuticle and inner epicuticle together, it is called as cuticulin layer. So this is an epicuticular layer which is made up of inner epicuticle, upper epicuticle, wax layer and cement layer. So remember, the epicuticle is made up of 4 layers. The outermost layer is called as cement layer, followed by wax layer, outer epicuticular layer and inner epicuticular layer. So now we'll study one by one. So the inner epicuticular layer. So inner epicuticular layer. So inner epicuticular layer is the innermost layer of the epicuticle. It is the innermost layer of the epicuticle. It is present immediately outside the is present immediately outside the procuticle. So when you come to the measurement, it measures around 0.5 to 2 micron thick. So inner epicuticular layer measures around 0.5 to 2 micron thickness. So this inner epicuticular layer, it limits expansion of cuticle during molting process. So it limits the expansion of cuticle during the molting process. So coming to the chemical composition, so inner epicuticular layer is made up of polymerized lipoproteins. It is made up of polymerized lipoproteins and it is stabilized with quinones. So we have lipoproteins as well as quinones. So these are produced by the secretions of epidermis. So inner epicuticular layer is produced by the secretion of epidermis. So the probable function of inner epicuticular layer is it serves as a reservoir for extracellular enzymes and also it is associated with repairing of wounds. So the function of inner epicuticular layer is it acts as a reservoir of extracellular enzymes and also it helps in the repairing of the wounds. The next layer is the outer epicuticular layer. Outer epicuticular layer. So this covers the entire integument and also it covers the tracheoles and the glandular cells. So tracheoles are nothing but they are the smaller tubes of the respiratory system. So tracheoles are nothing but they are the smaller tubes of the respiratory system. And also they cover the glandular cells. So epicuticular layer, it covers the entire integument including tracheoles and glandular cells. So coming to the thickness, it measures around 12 to 18 nanometer thick. So epicuticular measures around 12 to 18 nanometer thickness. So this is made up of polymerized lipids and proteins. So outer epicuticle is made up of polymerized lipids and proteins. So coming to the function, so it is the first formed layer of new cuticle. So it is the first formed layer of the new cuticle that is produced at each molt. So this protects the new procuticle from the action of molting fluid. So during the process of molting, a molting fluid is secreted, and this protects the epicuticular layer from the action of the molting fluid. So these are the functions of the outer epicuticular layer. So the next layer is wax layer. Next layer is the wax layer. So it is a prominent layer measuring around 0.25 micron thickness. So measures around 0.25 micron thickness, and it is made up of long chain hydrocarbons, esters of fatty acids, and alcohols. So the wax layer usually lies below the cement layer, and it provides a kind of waterproofing. That means it imparts water conserving mechanisms in the insects. So all of you know that in the insects that live in the hot climate or deserts, they need to conserve water. Since they don't get moisture in the desert conditions, so conserve water. Layer acts as a waterproofing layer, helping in conservation of water. The layer of the epicuticle is cement layer. So this cement layer is less than zero point 0.1 micron. So it is less than zero point 0.1 micron. So this cement layer is secreted by specialized dermal gland cells of the epidermis. So cement layer is secreted by the specialized dermal glands of the epidermal cells. So when you come to the composition, so they are made up of carbohydrates, sugar called as lactose. They are made up of tanned proteins, long chain lipids, and polyphenolic substances. So cement layer comprises of carbohydrates, tanned proteins, long chain lipids, and polyphenolic substance. So this is all about the outer layer of the cuticle, that is epicuticle. So the functions of cement layer is so this protects the underlying wax layer from abrasions. So this protects the underlying wax layer from the abrasions, and this determines the surface property of the cuticle. So this determines the surface property of the cuticle, and also it prevents entry of microbes into the insect body. So this is all about the different sub layers of epicuticle and their functions. And I told you that there are some vertical tubes that connect the epidermis with the epicuticle. So these vertical tubes, they are called as pore canals. So these are the vertical tubes that connect the epidermis with the epicuticle. So pore canals are nothing but they are the vertical tubes connecting the epidermal layers with the external surface of the epicuticle. So coming to the diameter, so they measure around 1 to 4 micron diameter. So they measure around 1 to 4 micron diameter. But as you see in the diagram, they are not straight like this. But when you see under the microscope, under the close-up, so the pore canals, they appear ribbon-like. So if you observe under the microscope, these pore canals, they are seen as a ribbon-like in appearance, and also they are spiral in shape. So these pore canals, they are ribbon-like in appearance and they are spirally arranged. So what is the function of these pore canals? So these pore canals, they transport cuticular substances from these epidermal to the upper surface of the cuticle that helps in growth and sclerotization. So the main function of the pore canals is the transportation of cuticular substances from the epidermis to the upper layer of the cuticle. So if you take the number of these pore canals, if you take the number of pore canals, so per cell they may vary from several thousand to up to million. So the number of pore canals per cell they vary from several thousands up to a million per square millimeter of insect integument. So this is all about the pore canals. So apart from pore canals, you may also find some wax canal filaments. Wax canal filaments. So as you see in the diagram, this white area is the pore canals. The white area is the pore canals. So this pore canals is connected by this wax canal filament. That means the wax canal filaments, they are inserted into the pore canal. So as you see in the diagram, this is the wax canal filament. So these wax canal filaments, they are inserted into the pore canals. So these wax canal filaments, they are the vertical tubes connecting the epidermis with the wax layer. So they connect the underneath the epidermis with the wax layer. So as I told you, they are continuous with the pore canals and they are penetrated into the inner epicuticular layer. So the function of wax canals or wax filaments is they carry the wax molecules and pour on the outer epicuticle. So if you see here the black color one, this is the outer epicuticle. So whatever the wax molecules that are present in the epidermis, it is transported to the outside and they are poured into this outer epicutical layer. So this is about the vertical tubes, that is pore canals and wax canal filaments. So the next layer is procuticle. The next layer is procuticle. So as you see in the diagram, now we have finished the epicuticle. Now we have finished this black layer, that is epicuticle, which is made up of outer epicuticle, inner epicuticle, wax layer and cement layer. And below this lies the procuticle. So the procuticle consists of outer exocuticle, middle mesocuticle and lower endocuticle. So this procuticle, it is present immediately above the epidermis. So this is epidermis. So above this epidermis, you will find this procuticle. So already I told you, this is 200 micron thickness. So as you see in the diagram, the region from here to here, it is procuticle, which measures around 200 micron thickness. But when you come to epicuticle, the epicuticle is very thin, measuring around 1 to 4 micron thick. So coming to the composition of the procuticle, so the procuticle is made up of chitin, protein and other substances. So procuticle is composed of chitin, protein and other substances. So if you take the major constituent or the chief constituent, the major constituent is chitin. So remember, the major constituent of procuticle is chitin, which forms around 20 to 50% of the dry weight of the cuticle. So if you take this chitin forms 20 to 50% of the dry weight of the cuticle. So what is this chitin? So chitin is nothing but it is the nitrogenous polysaccharide made up of several units of N-acetyl glucosamine units. So chitin is a nitrogenous polysaccharide comprising of several units of N-acetyl glucosamine units which are interposed by glucosamine molecules. So besides chitins, they are also made up of non-chitinized substances which comprise around 25 to 37%. So chitin comprises around 20 to 50%. Non-chitinous substances they comprise around 25 to 37%. So these proteins may be arthropodin, resilin, or other proteins. So apart from proteins, they may also consist of lipids, pigments, and salts. So what is the composition of procuticle? Procuticle has chitins, non-chitinous materials like arthropodin, resilin, lipids, pigments, and salts. So if you take this procuticle, so the procuticle is comprising of three layers. As you see in the diagram, three layers. The outermost layer is called as exocuticle. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The procuticle comprises of three layers. The outermost layer is called as exocuticle. Middlemost layer is called as mesocuticle, and lowermost layer is called as endocuticle. So remember, mesocuticle may be present only few insects, whereas exocuticle and endocuticle they are present in almost all insects. So exocuticle and endocuticle they are present in a majority of insects, whereas mesocuticle may be present only in few insects. So here exocuticle is the outer layer and it is the colored or tanned structure. So if you take this exocuticle, it appears as a colored exocuticle or tanned exocuticle. But when you come to this endocuticle, so this endocuticle is colorless or untanned. So exocuticle is a tanned layer, endocuticle is a untanned layer. Or in other words, exocuticle is colored, whereas endocuticle is a colorless layer. So I already told you the endocuticle of procuticle ranges from 0.2 to 200 micron. So if you take this endocuticle, the endocuticle measures around 0.2 to 200 micron. And this endocuticle is intact with the epidermis. So endocuticle is intact with the epidermis or hypodermis. So next one is the exocuticle. So exocuticle is a highly sclerotized layer of the procuticle. Usually it is hard and darker in color. This is mainly due to the tanning process. So exocuticle appears hard and dark mainly due to the tanning process. So usually the hardening is due to the tanning process of proteins. Hardening of the insect cuticle is due to the tanning process of the proteins. So this exocuticle is rich in chitin and protein. So exocuticle is rich in chitin and protein, and this exocuticle it is resistant to the action of molting fluid. So in the next class, you will be studying the function of this molting fluid. So you'll come to know details in next class. So exocuticle is resistant to action of molting fluid, and it is shed as exuvia during ecdysis. So exocuticle is shed away as exuvia during the process of molting. So anyway, you'll coming to know in detail during next class when I cover molting regarding these exuvia. And this exocuticle comprises of rigid areas which are called as sclerites. So exocuticle comprises of some rigid areas which are called as sclerites. So these sclerites, they contribute to the toughness or rigidity of the cuticles. So due to the presence of the sclerites, so this contributes for the rigidity or the toughness of the cuticle. And this exocuticle is usually absent in the membranous part of the insects. So in membranous parts of the insects, the exocuticle is absent. Whereas exocuticle is typically thin in soft-bodied insects. So in soft-bodied insects, the exocuticle appears as a thin layer. Whereas in hard-bodied insects, the exocuticle appears as a thicker layer. So remember, in case of soft-bodied insects, the exocuticle appears as a thin layer, whereas in hard-bodied insects, the exocuticle appears as a thicker layer. So this is all about the exocuticle. And the underlying layer is the endocuticle, which is untanned. So as I told you, it is the innermost layer of the procuticle, and this appears to be soft and flexible, whereas exocuticle is hard. Exocuticle is hard, whereas endocuticle is soft and flexible. So this contains more of chitin and protein. And already I told you, this is the untanned layer, and usually present in the membranous parts of the insect body. So membranous parts may refer to joints. So it is present in the joints or the membranous parts of the insect body. So usually the contents of the endocuticle, they are digested and absorbed by the epidermal cells. So the contents of the endocuticle, they are digested and absorbed by the epidermal cells during the process of molting. So they may also be reused for the new cuticle synthesis. So endocuticle is also reused for the new cuticle synthesis. So endocuticle comprises the largest section of the integument. So endocuticle appears as the largest part of the integument. So sometimes a small layer may be present in between the exocuticle and endocuticle, which is called as mesocuticle. This is about the endocuticle. So now we'll study the chemical composition of the cuticle. So the main component of the cuticle is chitin. The major component of the insect cuticle is chitin, and also it consists of some of the proteins. And the minor constituents may be polyhydric phenols and quinones. And it also comprises of inorganic compounds like magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So if you take the chemical composition of cuticle, major portion is chitin, minor portion is other proteins, polyhydric phenols, quinones, and inorganic compounds like magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So now, since the major component of insect cuticle is chitin, we will study the characteristic features of chitin. So chitin is a high molecular weight polysaccharide, high molecular weight polysaccharide, which comprises of N-acetyl D-glucosamine residues. So it is chitin is made up of a number units of N-acetyl D-glucosamine residues. So already I told you it comprises of 20 to 50% dry weight of the insect cuticle. And the precursor for chitin synthesis is a sugar or amino acid called as trehalose. So for chitin synthesis to initiate, there is a precursor. So this precursor is the trehalose, which is a major sugar that is present in the hemolymph of insects. So remember, chitin is present in procuticle only. Chitin is present in procuticle only, whereas it is absent in epicuticle. So if you take the structural formula of chitin, so chitin is made up of C8H13O5N bracket to the N. So this N may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So in the next slide, you will see the structure of chitin. So this is the structure of chitin. So it is made up of glucosamine ring. So this ring is the glucosamine ring. And also it is made up of acetamide component. So if you look here, this is the acetamide component and this is the glucosamine ring. So one D-glucosamine and other D-glucosamine, they are joined by a bond called as beta-1,4 glycosidic bond. So this is one chitin unit, this is another chitin unit. So both the chitin units, they are joined by the glycosidic bond. So each chitin component comprises of a glucosamine ring and an acid amide. So this is the structural formula of chitin. And the endocuticle contains more chitin than the exocuticle. So even if the chitin is present in exocuticle, it is meager or in lower percent. So this chitin is insoluble in water, alcohol, ether, dilute acids and concentrated alkalis. So chitin is found to be insoluble in all these compounds, that is water, alcohol, ether, dilute acid and concentrated alkalis. Whereas this chitin is soluble in concentrated acids and sodium hypochlorite. So approximately 80% of the chitin that is present in the cuticle, it is reabsorbed during the process of molting. So already previously I told you, if the insect has to grow, it has to shed the old cuticle every time and form the new cuticle. So this is possible only through a process which is called as molting. So coming to the proteins of cuticle. So I told you major component is chitin, the other components are proteins. So proteins comprise more than 50% dry weight of the cuticle. So proteins comprise 50% of the cuticle. So they are the major constituents and these proteins, they provide a hardness to the cuticle. So proteins of the cuticle, they provide a hardness to the cuticle. So which are the major proteins that are present in the insect cuticle? So the first important protein that is present in the cuticle is arthropodin. So arthropodin is the protein that is present in the cuticle. So this is the untanned protein. So untanned means colorless, colorless. So this arthropodin is present in the upper layer of the procuticles, upper layer of the procuticles. So this arthropodin is soft and water soluble protein. So arthropodin is soft and water soluble protein. The second important protein of the cuticle is sclerotin. The second important protein of the cuticle is sclerotin, and this is the tanned protein. Tanned protein means colored protein. So usually this is amber colored. So sclerotin is amber colored and it is present in the exocuticle. So sclerotin is amber colored and it is present in the exocuticle. And the quinones that are derived from tyrosine, so they tan the cuticle and the tanned part becomes hard part of the exocuticle. So such a tanned protein, such a tanned arthropodin is called as sclerotin, and the process of sclerotization is called as tanning. So the process is known as either sclerotization or tanning. So I'll repeat again. Sclerotin is the tanned protein. Usually it is amber colored and it is present only in the exocuticle. So here what happens is the quinones, they tan the cuticle and this tanned part becomes hard. This tanned part becomes hard. So such a tanned arthropodin is called as sclerotin. So what is sclerotin? Sclerotin is nothing but tanned arthropodin. And this process is known as sclerotization or tanning. So sclerotization is hardening of the cuticle. Tanning means the darkening of the cuticle. So sclerotization is the hardening of the cuticle. Tanning is the darkening of the cuticle. The third important protein is resilin. The third important protein is resilin. So this is a rubber-like elastic protein. So all of you know the meaning of rubber. Rubber means stretchable. So resilin is a rubber-like elastic protein, usually present in the movable joints of wings and the mouth parts. So resilin is present in the movable joints, especially in the wing joints and mouth parts. So this can be stretched 30 times of its length. So under tension, it can be stretched 30 times of its own length. So after that, it can come back to its original position once released. Once it is released, it will come back to its original position. So coming to the chemical process that occur in the cuticle. So I told you one is sclerotization, the other one is tanning. So this sclerotization involves the linking of individual proteins, that is sclerotin molecules. So what is sclerotization? It is the linking of individual sclerotin molecules. So what happens is sclerotin will be linked with the polyhydric phenols and quinone compounds. So this process is called as sclerotization. So what is sclerotization? It is the linking of individual protein molecules. That is, sclerotin is linked with the polyhydric phenols and quinone compounds. So this linking of polyhydric phenols with the quinone compounds is called as sclerotization. So this leads to the solidification of protein matrix, creating rigid plates in the exoskeleton. And the hormone that stimulates sclerotization is called as bursicon. The hormone that stimulates sclerotization is called as bursicon. So this bursicon is secreted by the neurosecretory cells. And the second process is called as tanning. Tanning. So the process of hardening of the cuticle results in the dark brown color. So the process of hardening of the cuticle results in dark brown color. That is nothing but tanning. So sclerotization and tanning that takes place in exocuticle. So sclerotization and tanning that takes place in exocuticle, but not in endocuticle. So this is the reason why exocuticle is harder in nature, whereas endocuticle is soft and flexible. So since sclerotization and tanning process takes place in the exocuticle, it appears hard. And tanning and sclerotization doesn't take place in endocuticle. As a result, they are soft and flexible. And the precursor for this quinone synthesis is tyrosine, which is an amino acid. So the last aspect is melanization or pigmentation. So melanization or pigmentation is the use of different colors. Color of the integument, the color of the integument or insect color, it may be due to the presence of various pigments, and these pigments they may be derived from metabolism or plant sources on which they feed. So the pigments that present in the cuticle include pterins, melanins, and carotenoids. So these different pigments impart different colors to the insect body. So apart from that, you may have layers of cuticle that may be separated by water, air, or oils. So this also gives color to the insects. And sometimes they cause scattering or refraction or interference or diffraction of light. So because of these processes, the insects may appear metallic or dark color. So this is all about this class. So there's a responsible for tanning in cuticle. So I told you in the slide we are seeing all of the insects feed on host plants. So from the host plants, they acquire different pigments like T, melanins, carotenoids. These are not present in the insect body; they are acquired from the plants. So whatever the pigments they acquired from the plants, they impart the color to the insect body. So you might see the insects that may be green in color, insects may be brown, or they may be black in color. So these colors they are not synthesized into the insect body; they are acquired from the plants, and those are reflected in the insect cuticle. So I think this is all about today's class. So we will continue the same aspect in tomorrow's class. So any doubts? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, sir,
Do you
audible.
have any
Sir.
doubts for today's class? So if you don't have any doubts, we will be having tomorrow's class at 10:45 to 11:45.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you all
Thank
of
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you all of you. We'll meet
Thank you,
tomorrow.
sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, log out now. We'll meet tomorrow.